People would tend to be divided up into a couple different categories. We can have people being divided as boy, girl. Some people can be described as a glass half empty, glass half full kind of person. Some people like good pizza, and some people like to put pineapple on it. No matter how we divide each other, it's not always as cut and dry. People are complex. It's very complicated to just put us into a single binary as a group. Oftentimes we need to be divided into even farther in to just two separate groups. One I would like to talk about is the division of extroverts and introverts. Extroverts, as we know, are the outspoken, the talkative, the people persons. They like to go out, put themselves out. And oppositely, we have the introverts, the quiet types, the secluded, restrained, sometimes even antisocial. I would like to spend this time to dive more into introverts and describe different ways that they can be divided. Jonathan Cheek is a professor from Wesley, and he and his colleagues have come up with 4 ways to divide introverts. We have the social, the thinking, the anxious, and the restrained types. Each of these are different, and well, some overlap. Some are also very distinct from each other. Some introverts out here may relate to some of these, and some not so much. There are very good chance that there'll be a combination of both, because it's hard to, like I said, put into groups. A lot of times we can cross between the two. And for all the extroverts out there, you might have friends, and now you may be able to kind of categorize them and see what kind they are and maybe what makes them tick. So the first we have is social. Social are the type that you would think stereotypically. They're the secluded type. You think of extroverts, you think people who like to be with people. They get charged up by being around others with friends and whatnot. And introverts, when they give that example, are the opposite. Sometimes they need time to be alone. Being around others is exhausting. This is the social type. People that are pretty fine being alone. They don't need too much people time. Being alone with a good book, movie, video game, that's a good time for them. The next type we have is thinking. Now these are the dreamers. These are the people that may space out in conversations. They're very analytical and very self-reflective. It's not that they are antisocial in any way, it's just a lot of times they like to be in the moment with themselves and be very self-reflective at oftentimes. Now on to our third one is anxious. And like the name sounds, they have anxiety, especially when interacting with others. These are the shy type, the awkward type. They might stutter or get a loss for words. And this is just something that they're wired with, that this is just who they are. They self-conscious, they want to do well and impress others, and they spend a lot of time thinking about themselves and how they appear to others and how their conversations are going. Very hard to open up or articulate what they like and what they want to get across. The final type is the restrained, and this is the one that I probably relate to the most. This is the type that's more reserved and cautious. They don't like to put themselves out there or take too many risks or such. They like the familiarity. They're plenty fine being around other people, and they might enjoy being social. It's just they need the time to open up and feel comfortable. They may like smaller groups. That's their comfort zone. But they also like bigger groups. It's just not something they're well equipped for. And I like to bring this topic up for you all just to help you think, help you broaden your understanding, or when you see someone to break away from the binary, like, oh, that's just introvert, you can just summarize that off. There are different things that make them tick. So when you meet a social, if they want to get away, that's just them trying to get some me time and recharge. If you're with a thinker, maybe them spacing out isn't just an insult, that's just the way they are. And with an anxious, you might just need to be patient with them. They'll get there eventually. And with restrained, just feel free to talk to them. They may have trouble putting themselves out, but will enjoy the talk or interaction with you.